This is Azos, and welcome back to another playthrough of Endless Legends 2. This time around, we're going to be playing as the Aspects. They're more the influence and role into this game, very diplomat, and they got some cool little benefits. One of the main things is they can force like treaties, truces, stuff like that. If you want something from a faction, they're not like giving you science, you can be like, yep. Here's 700 influence, it's mine and yours now. Now, the AI is a little weird with it. I'm sure if you play multiplayer, there might be some like workaround. They might be like, I think it's after 10 turns or something like that, you can revoke it, or you pay influence. There's something along those lines, but this is versus just the AI, so it's different. One of the cool other features is they produce coral, which for us, and we have to give it to another faction through like a tree, then they'll be able to like work with it. But we get to move faster on it. It's only half speed on it, as well as later on we can, I think through a quest, if I'm not mistaken, you get it so you can heal a little bit faster on it. So there's that as well. And those minor factions, when you assimilate them, they're free, no influence costs. And there's a couple heroes, your main starting hero, that will have it so once the Tidefall happens, or the Monsoon happens, and you include it into the army, or into the console I should say, you can set it up every time you assimilate them into your faction. They'll be like plus 10 influence. And then there's another hero that gives science as well. So once you have like 4, that's 40 right there, and you can get up to 7 if you win the tome thing. So it's 6, but then you get the +1, which you should be able to get the 7, because getting 10 is not that hard. You can even buy them if you want to. Because the AI doesn't focus on that early on, they kind of do their own like thing, so we can get that, and there's a quest for us to have 10 as well. One of the other things that they come with is they have Voices of the Masses, which is producing the influence buildings, and then fencing, which is the food buildings. For the game, these are the factions that we were playing with. I don't want another Aspects faction, because then we're kind of like bashing heads with our quests, and next thing you know is there's like no villages to pacify, which is one of our win conditions that we could choose. Or we can also go down the route of like mining all the 6 materials, which is another easy one that we can do. I mean, of course you don't have to play like that, you can even just clear out the fortresses as well. But we will be playing on world size large, on continent, and under the general settings they added a new feature, so you can just instant resolve fortresses. It's pretty nice. After you do the first one and you like win it, it's kind of a little bit of a hassle to keep on doing like the tier 1 versions 5 more times or something. You did it once, I don't think you should do it again, or need to do it again. Usually how I play it is like I'll do the first one of that type, and then after that I'll just auto resolve. That's how I look at it. So there's that option. I added that, or check that on to be yes, but everything else is the same. We're doing, once again, large world size and 6, just so that I noticed that 3 will always spawn by each other. So this way there's not like one side will have 3, one side will have 2. This way it's like evened out, and it's more enjoyable that way. But yeah, I won't really like read through the storylines as well. I'll let that be something on your guys' playthrough for the most part. But without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we?
There is peace if all things are in balance. Metal and mineral, sky and sea, the bound and the unbound. This harmony murmurs through the air, ripples through the oceans. It is the song of Sayada that we alone can hear. A symphony shared by every being, living or unliving, growing richer until it is ruined by one false note, one crashing dissonance. From discord disorder, conflict, and destruction will follow. We must deny this cacophony, sway the strangers of this world, and impose a greater harmony.
Okay, let's begin. Now, for the most part, we get to search. We have some different units. We have less units than the normal necrophage, but we have roughly the same power. This unit is called Envoy or Envoy. They are swarm, so there's nice for moving combat. One of the cool things is our little ability right here. The stabilizing defense 1 is we get to add vulnerable when units are around and we defend. And what's nice about our faction is our heroes. I'll of course get more into this once we start like deep diving more. But the skill tree is they'll have a deflecting stance, which adds defense to all units of the army and adds 1 extra defense per resilience if it's on this guy. So you can stack that with multiple heroes in the party, so you can get your whole unit's beefy. So these guys are nice to have like in every single army because they you can't see, but their next level up through gold you can give movement to the army. So just having one of those alone is nice. So the first couple turns we can just scout, but you know, having city approval is always nice in the beginning. But let's just check. So what we're mainly looking for is food and industry for our first building, just so we can get started. We'll keep these two together, and we'll go south with these guys to see what we got going. Early on, this isn't looking too bad. Now we want food, so this might be good for extension to the base when we make our first little attachment. So we'll keep that in mind. One thing I also like to look for is if there's any minor factions. Let's see if I can get that. Let's zoom out. Doesn't look like there's a minor faction there, so that's nice. If we built there, it's not bad. Well, that's a juicy amount, and we have 4 tiles to work with, so we can upgrade, and we can obviously gain the gold pretty quickly through extending. This is not a bad option. Because that's not a bad option, what I'll do is I'll leave this unit here just for that. It's not bad. This way you can keep on exploring. I'll move through. Prefer to move not through the forest, because the forest will give you 2 movement costs if possible, but you know, you can only do so much. I want to go up right now, but having no minor factions is a little, you know, a little bad. Here's one minor faction, which is not. They're decent, you know, nothing crazy. Let's continue. We'll just put these. So if we were to build it, probably be right. This wouldn't be bad either, but we lose out on a square tile. But yeah. So this will probably be our better play. So we'll just keep them right here for now. We'll just put it so that we'll skip their turn, so we don't have to worry about what they want to say to us. 10 dust is always nice. What's great about this one is we get, when we assimilate them, wouldn't be too tough. We can have it so they can be included into our base, or into our, more specifically into, ooh, that's nice, our city as a population, which is just great. So I'm probably gonna take this right here. I'll triple check. Yeah, that has no industry. We want industry as our first thing. Always grab. You can always grab this as like a second one, and this will give us another person. And these guys have industry, so that's increasing. Yeah, and this will give us gold. We would be lacking science, but we can grab the science right there. probably be our second home. Always building, at least I think, building on a place or attaching a place to your cities with a little dude is a little village. It's nice. All right, so I'm in no rush. I'm gonna go one more. Waiting one more turn is fine before we build. Just triple checking. And let's just see if, oh, this has two, so that's even better in that sense. So I'll definitely probably take this as my second. So because of that, let's move right here, just trying to get as much. All right, let's just do this. We'll do it right here. This will give us 4 tiles to work with, which will be enough when we build that out with buildings. We'll have it so we can upgrade it to level 2. What I like to first do is always move it to Artisan and go to Improvement, get this going, 5 turns. This will give us gold science, you know, it just gives us all a little bit of each, which is nice. And then from there, we got only food here, but that's kind of whatever, we have a decent amount. So from here, I will probably just put food here. We'll come back to this, we don't, like, that's not set in stone of our first in the order, but let's go into this. Currently, we're gonna need science, and if we do science, we can also get the curation here, which gives us a little bit more rewards when we're going over those question marks, the curiosities. So we'll bump that in, we just instantly get that. That's amazing, just due to the fact that we found that science prior, and when you hold off on a couple turns, you just get a boost into it. So then we'll go into gold. We're gonna need gold before anything else, due to the we're gonna be needing to lay down our coral buildings, which can cost like, just keeps on increasing in gold. The first one's like 30, the next one's like 80 or something. And with the more gold we have, we can just bid out these people and be like, yeah, just join, you know, because maybe the quest is a little bit too hard or too long or something like that. And probably our third will be industry, so we can get some works going, get going out faster. We don't really need to remove forests, but if it comes to it, we can. But yeah, those are our 3 first. We'll come back to the others once this is done. Yeah, let's get that going. That's our turn. Turn 5, you always get your first quest, like always for every faction. So we need to build coral spores, 2 of them, and then we'll have our +10 approval for 10 turns, which is nice for growing. It's likely we will build the first one right here. We could go here for some science as well, but we need more gold industry off the get. We can come back to science a little bit later, and we'll probably do science like over here, or we'll find another tile. We'll do this one first, get the coral going there. With this guy, I'm gonna slowly swing up this way and talk and have a little chat with these guys, and we can bring our armies together. So right here off the get-go, we have a little bit of coral. When we build on our coral, it will be faster to build as well. So there's that. So we're gaining enough movement just to move over here, and we'll just chit chat with them. So to buy the first one will be 150, so we'll keep that in mind. Parlay, get a little quest going. Search the rest of the tower, so that's nice. So we can do that pretty easily as long as the tower is not like a year away, and we get a decent knack off the get-go. So even if you want to buy them out, I would always double check to make sure the quest, oh, that's kind of far, so we might just actually buy them out. You know, sometimes the quests are like extremely far, so we're just gonna unpin this and we'll just buy them out. We'll repin the main storyline. Just gonna unpin that. Oh, while we're there, we should actually go over Tidefall stuff. Let me just minimize this. One of the first things this one will be extremely tough to do since we're pacifying the villages. This one is possible, but most likely the Necrophage will always pick that up. This is iffy, depending on the situation with what some of those will spawn after the first tidefall. And this is like kind of late. But one of the main things we can get is city cap, which isn't like needed realistically, but like we could get that pretty easily because of our influence. And bringer of peace. We should 100% get bringer of peace, just due to that being extremely nice. And if we can, by all means, clearing 6 fortresses to get the plus 10 damage on units is nice. This is possible, but like, again, just RNG depending on the production of everything. All right, so we'll end our turn. That's being built. The next one will cost 80. Okay, and most likely I'll probably go here because that will give us some approval, decent industry, as well as some science. There's a little gold there, which is always nice. So because there's the districts that increased for the districts for science, you can also see placement details, which you'll get from there. It's just 5 because of the fact that there's a tile with 2. Definitely do that, and we'll put that before that as well, just so that food is not going to be as important, because we're about to get another prop when we buy these guys out after a couple turns. Yeah, we'll end here. Turn 7, we're going to start getting some people coming in out of their little camps. What we'll want to do is swing our factions together. That's pretty huge movement pickup. We want to bring our guys together. We'll probably fight these just to get some resources from it. Let's double. Oh, I didn't attach. That's funny. That's okay. They can attach here a bit. And we'll just continue. Guys are kind of far out. Bring these guys down so we don't get attacked. Bring these in. I think they are just out of 2 distance. We'll just keep them like this, and we'll also make sure. Yeah, we have nothing. I'm thinking maybe we got a potion. Let's put him on defense right now, just so if he does attack, we'll get it. And we will continue. I know our gold is a pretty bad, but once we kill a guy, we might get a decent amount here. Let's take a second to see if the AI will fight us. They do. And we'll continue. This isn't a bad outcome. We might just take this and we'll just probably we'll probably just take this. 44 gold. Let's see, will this other faction fight us? Doesn't look like. So we have our 80 gold. So probably what would be better is us to just do this first. Get that going so we can finish that mission. It's a little early, I guess you could say. And then we'll move them here. If they fight them. They're not going to because they're peaceful. Should have mentioned that. But we will fight them. And then maybe use our gold to bring them in. Now, we could evolve this, but we will wait. We don't need to do it off the get-go, because we're going to need 160 as the total. 60 to go, and then 100 to attach it. So we'll look to see once we get closer to that. Our faction is still only 109. We got 2 turns. In the early game, towards mid-game, you should just check out your population, play a little mini game with it for a while. Quest is done. We got the necrophage. That could be a little bit of an issue. But we'll just acknowledge them now. And then we need to build 3 districts. Most likely, this has a lot of gold, so we'll probably bring that one in. Yeah, probably bring that one in. I'm gonna bring these guys together, and I'm gonna heal up for like a turn. And that should be enough so I can fight these guys. because they can now come together and make a group of 4, and that's just gonna be a little bit of a problem, especially early on. I don't want to buy this out because I want to save my gold, so we'll continue with that. They move away, we'll just keep on healing. Feel like that's probably better. And we'll just heal up one more turn. What we can do is we'll evolve. Our science is decent. We'll evolve this, so we can actually move closer to them and keep on healing. Ooh, should defend because it's the same. Oh, they're passive. They're not gonna attack us. Alright, keep it going. Wait, what? Where did that unit go? Super confused. Where did they go? I guess I pacified them. That's another thing. You can our coral pacify them. Because our coral pacified, then we're just gonna bring these guys in automatically. We're gonna bring these guys in. Okay. I did not know. That's actually good to know. I'm gonna tell these guys to get away from us. I don't want them over here. We're gonna manual battle this just because that's kind of ridiculous. We're gonna move over here, so this way I'll have to go through the forest. I know the necrophage will not like this, but this can slow them down a lot. I didn't move. I was like, really? I know it's kind of weird to play out when there's like this, but sometimes it's just needed to do that so you don't lose out on any like units. Alright, we leveled up. First thing we will do is add 3 defense, because we're always going to be having somebody that most likely will be defending. Right, we're going to get science here, and then works. We'll go exploring a little bit more now. There's another faction here. Try to buy out those people. Yeah, something up there that looks nice. Let's see what the mission is. There's 2 here. That's nice. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Right there, that's not far. We'll move through our territory. Yes. Okay. There's gonna be 2 more that's included into our area. Move that over to food. Play is probably to kill these guys. What we'll do is we'll buy this so we have a 4th just to make us stronger, and then we'll fight these. We will not instant resolve. That's a little bit too much damage. We'll fight. Same thing. We'll defend. Give a little bit more defense. Now it's up to 14. Do a little of this. We'll move them right here. We can move them right here. We'll focus on those guys. We'll defend with them so we can put the invulnerability. And we'll just launch our attacks at this guy. Nice. Okay. It's not okay. We'll do this. Little range guy took a little bit of damage. That's alright. Yeah. It is what it is. Falcon is just a slightly worse, I think. But alright, science is done. From here, I will probably do this next. Because we're going to be building buildings and there's, we're not getting anything crazy from here. And we don't need this currently. And then we'll go into these two after. I like to skip the stoneworks for defense, not really like needed. And keystones, building bridges and dams is very situational and kind of like a waste of early game, at least, waste points on it. I believe our next upgrade for gold on a unit is 200. We'll keep an eye on that. We have 122, so we will attach this. I might have missed a turn of that. That's alright. We'll attach this. This will increase. Hold on, we get our two guys. So let's read this on artisan. So this will increase our science. We'll do that. That will bring it down. We'll probably do this. Yeah, bring our food in. We'll get a building here in a little bit. That will be an improvement that we can get food going a little bit better. 5 turns, which is really nice. We might just use our gold for that. We'll get our thing. We'll get another unit. What is nice as well is early game, instead of making our units, we can instead have it so that we can buy out these guys. It is gold but we can focus then, instead of buying these buildings out, we can just focus on letting them keep on building through our industry. So I'm gonna go back to my science and I'm going to bring this instead, because this will give us another slot of that, so probably be a little bit better outcome. We can include these guys into our little base, and this will make it so that we can get even another one during our first monsoon, which there'll be a couple, maybe like 4 more turns, a couple more turns. They'll fight us. We will not instant resolve this. These guys are melee, so we'll be able to protect this guy a lot easier. So we will manual battle this. We'll stop them from moving up. We'll defend. What we want to make sure we do is have it so we can kill off 1 unit, hopefully. Nice, okay. They might be able to get to them. They cannot. Okay, good. Let's see, can we just kill these guys right out? Yeah, we can. Another potion, more gold. Any equipment? Yeah, I'll swap this out. This one gives shield. Situational, but you can save a unit. There's that army. I'm gonna heal a little bit. Once again, you can just press defend or guard, and you'll still get healed through it. It's just that keep on forgetting. This will make it so like you don't have to come back to them, and the game will inform you once they're fully healed. District's nice. Oh, good. Alright, keep that going. Let's see, they're right there. I'm gonna heal 1 more turn, then I'll go at them. Yeah. to resolve this, just because we're gonna go back into our base anyways, and just kind of like chill for a little bit. Most likely the necrophage is down here, so I'll deal with that in a little bit. I leveled up. Let's put a skill in. I like to go into Guiding Light. This way our range units will do some damage. Non-hero, but we can, you know, just a little bit of damage is helpful. We get another guy to add. We'll just add this in. Gain another pop. This pop gives dust, so that's a little nice on citizens or artisans, so we'll just move them here. We can just buy this out because we're not near anything that would be useful to buy a unit. I don't see a faction down here. So I'm gonna move up. Actually, I'm gonna heal with them first. I'm gonna be moving up, I should rephrase. So I will buy this out. Get our little other unit. And now we have 2 protectors. So we'll get 200 influence. We need 5 turns, which is nice. Sometimes it bugs out like that. We will move this way. We're gonna just go up and see if there's another faction or another minor faction over here. If not, we gotta be. We can think about making another city right now. But what I like to do, not always the case because sometimes there's always, you know, a one-off. I like to wait till the first tidefall to see what the land is, because the next land will have like more of a chance at 2 resources on every single tile, which is nice. Currently, the only place we can build is here. Most likely, we will build a science. Our science is just a tad bit lacking right now. And our people, we don't really, like, we're so early on that we gained 3 other, we have already gained 3 other populations, so we don't need to worry. 16 turns is whatever. I'd rather just have how it is right now. I mean, realistically, you can do this just to gain even more science. Probably will do. It's a weird thing, but we'll just do it. No, that's just too weird. It's kind of mean to that pop, I guess. Alright, we'll continue. Coral expanded a little bit. What's nice about these guys, they can like see past the bushes as well, or the tree line. Most likely we'll have to, this probably goes into the, it looks like it stops there, that's nice. Cool, that's good. If I was to build a second base, I would ideally go here. We could simulate them as well, but it'll be a little bit before we do that. This just leveled up, so you get a little miniature quest. Don't need influence, because we're about to get that for the quest. 10 turns of the industry low is just bad, but 40 science is nice, because if we get into the next... it's minus 10. I can't take it. The faster we get into the next like tier of like technology, we'll get like another hero, which just makes us stronger. We're gonna have to go with this. It's a little lame, but I'd rather take the gold hit than take the industry hit on this. Ooh. Unit's basically fully pulled out. They're not. I'm gonna build. Ooh, no. Not build a bridge right there? Oh, there's a cliff here. Probably build a bridge like right there or something. So we'll just move this way. Keep an eye. What's also good is the necrophage can't destroy this. Just helps them increase in their size. I just saw a unit there. I don't know who. Necrophage. Probably deal with them. Just killed a faction. Dang. They're over here. I don't think I want to build this bridge. They probably won't come into my territory. They just claimed that. Pretty bad. Means I will have to claim this. And then Tidefall. Hopefully this is decent. Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're going back. We'll just head back down. One of the things we don't want to do is make sure that we don't go into their territory. That will make it... I know we are able to, but they want closed borders right now.
The swarm cares not.
And we don't want to deal with that. I will eventually want to put open borders for them, so this way they're not as angry at us. There's no other factions to buy right now, so you can. I'm just gonna buy this out. This will be upgraded to tier 2, which just increases everything. We're gonna save our influence probably for that. Let's see, any improvements? No. Right now I'm deciding where to take all of this, where I want to build my next one, because you always try to want to like upgrade your buildings. So the best bet is to upgrade these 2 buildings, or these 3. We're not really going to be able to upgrade this building. It would be around here, and getting the most outcome is this, because we'll get 1 more food, and this will increase everything. We should go influence this time, because it's cheaper to make, and we're a little bit lacking until the first soon. What does suck is we lost those 2. Shame. We're content right now. Yucky. There's our 200. We have 2 options here. Oh, we just got that too. Units are stronger. We're gonna go into things so we can get. We already have 2 laboratories, which is nice. And now we can get some gold. Oh, we're gonna get some decent gold. Very nice. Alright, so we just did that. Now we need to claim a territory. It's the game. So we need to get over here and claim it. Knowing the necrophage, they're gonna be a pest about it. Oh, I should have thrown that unit. They can hover over it. We will evolve this camp. And 200 evolve into city. Let's see, can we bump that? I don't think we can bump that. Let's try something. Alright, we'll just keep it like this. Come back to it. And for low in influence, we don't want to I'm gonna say we're low in influence. We want to let that just build out. We want to save our influence. 100. We can't attach to another city because we only have 2 attachments right here. In our science, is it the next one? Yeah, next here. We can have it so we can attach another city to it. So it's gonna be a little bit. So right now it's just better to make a second city than anything. Yeah, figured as much. So this quest line is going to be a little bit of annoyance. We're going to probably have to fight through the necrophage. It's going to put us behind tremendously. This is kind of like big RNG issue. And what does this give us? Decent necklace. We'll probably have to come back to that. A little bit of pickle. The worst possible thing you could have is going against necrophage early on. Alright, tide. This will be huge for us. Or sorry, Monsoon. This is gonna be huge for us.
Rain clouds darken the sky's aspects, while rifts scar the lands. The balance between life and death is at stake.
Monsoon is happening. We have 1 to 15 turns. First Monsoon is always quick. But we're going to end this little episode right here, and we'll start up the next one beginning of the first Monsoon. If you enjoyed what you saw, you can like and subscribe to see future content. And if there's anything that you want to see a little bit different, you can just leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again, guys.